Today I am pulling back the curtain to give you an exclusive inside look at the world of social media. And whilst I do that, I have some farming to do so we can chat whilst I work. Today I'm going to answer some of the biggest questions which people always ask me. How long do I spend making videos every week? How much does social media pay me? Is success online about knowledge, strategy, or just dumb luck? What drives me to keep making videos? And finally, and most interestingly, where do I see the future of social media heading? This video is a little bit different to what I normally do. It's not farming and it's not tech related, but I promise you, when I speak to people in person, this is the topic that sparks the most curiosity and the most excitement. I've also never seen anyone else on social media get into the details of what it's like actually doing it. So hopefully this is also something pretty unique. And it might dispel some of the rumors around social media, especially how much people are actually making from it. So the first question I get constantly asked is, how long do I spend every week making videos? And the answer is, it varies a lot. The last few weeks I've been trying to cut back time spent making videos. I've posted less and I've made less, and it's probably only been about 6 to 7 hours a week. In a week where I'm trying to make 2 YouTube videos like I was doing over the summer and maybe 4 to 5 TikTok videos, I'm probably spending about 10 to 12 hours making videos every week. So it is really not an insignificant amount of time. And when I tell you how much it's paying me, there could be an argument that it's not even worth my time. But here's the important caveat to how long I'm spending making videos. I really enjoy it. I find it interesting. I enjoy editing the videos. I enjoy coming up with the ideas. It's a creative outlet, and I really enjoy interacting with the people who watch the videos. I've kind of started to answer one of the other questions, so just forget that bit. This is not the best solution in the world for filling meal into a feeder wagon, but it works and it's good enough. Next question, how much does YouTube and TikTok actually pay? This is one of them questions where I don't think anyone has any point of reference for an answer. And whenever I first went to start doing YouTube videos, I tried to Google how much it paid, and I couldn't even get an answer then. So I'm just gonna give you the facts and tell you the answer. I sometimes feel like this is some sort of giant secret, but I really don't think it should be. From making maybe 3 or 4 TikTok videos a week, I get between £500 and £600 per month. On YouTube, I get anywhere from £600 to £1,200 per month. At the minute, I'm only making 1 video a week, but it's still delivering me a pretty nice amount of money. So I'll do the math for you so you don't have to try and work that out in your head as to how much I'm getting per year. On TikTok, I'm probably getting around £5,000 to £6,000, and on YouTube, I'm getting somewhere around £10,000 a year, which really is not a small amount of money when it is essentially surplus income. Now, unfortunately, you do have to pay tax on that. And I'm not just saying that, you have to give over your tax details to register to be paid by these social media platforms. So that takes a big chunk of that profit away, but it's still not bad. And then on top of the money you get paid by TikTok or YouTube, you also have the money you can get from companies to promote products. General rule of thumb for agreeing to promote a product in a video is that you charge £10 per 1,000 views. So for context, TikTok pays you about 40p per 1,000 views, and YouTube will pay you somewhere between £6 and £9 per 1,000 views. So there is definitely good money to be made in trying to promote products. You could probably double, at least double the money you get from views. However, I don't like that. He says as he fills his feeder wagon that he got on demo for free for 6 months. But hear me out, I actually am principled when it comes to agreeing to sponsor a product. My guiding principle when it comes to what brands or companies I will work with is really simple. Have I used them before I had social media, and have I spent my own money on their product. And if it doesn't fit that criteria, I am extremely reluctant to agree to do anything for any company, even if they offer to pay me decent money for it. If anyone ever challenges me about why I have promoted or advertised a certain product, I can show them the invoices from 3 or 4 years ago of when I genuinely believed in that product and used it myself. That applies to the oxygen barriers, to Ecosil, to the calf colostrum powders. It applies to Kavernland, like mowers are Kavernland. It applies to my cubicles, which I paid a premium for to get them from Timor Engineering, a company that I have worked with for many, many years and is a fantastic company to deal with. We have owned Amazon sewers for the last 20 or 30 years, so the Amazon sewer I took on demo fit that pattern also. And I do honestly get plenty of offers for brand deals and endorsements and free products that I just say no to. 50% of the time I say no because I don't think it's worth the effort and they're not offering me enough in return. But 50% of the time I say no out of principle. There is also a very good business reason to turn down a product that you've never used before, and that's because I really value being seen as credible. And you only have to screw up once to lose credibility, and I am very cautious not to risk that. Hence why in lots of my videos you'll see me go out of my way to back up what I'm saying with numbers and facts. So if we were to say that I was getting about £15,000 a year directly from TikTok and YouTube, I'm probably getting the same again from companies, which brings our total to about £30,000 a year. But it is worth saying that I am really not trying to milk my audience for money. I don't push the brand advertising stuff as much as I could, and as of now, I don't sell merch. So for other people with a similar sized audience, they definitely could be paid more than that. However, they might have other disadvantages which we don't see, such as audience retention time and stuff like that, which maybe drops the revenue. It is very hard to know. But hopefully that gives you a rough idea as to how much social media can pay. We're just going to let it chop up the straw before we add in any extra silage. We'll leave it for 5 minutes and come back. Our next question is a good one. I'm going to have to control myself and not speak too long about this one. Is success online about skill, strategy, or just dumb luck? How do I answer this without offending other people who make videos? I think for a lot of people, their success online is just dumb luck. And perhaps that is true for me, and I should be more humble. But, and I really hope this doesn't make me sound super arrogant, I get that it probably will, but I do think I understand social media and what works and what will be successful. And it's like anything in life, it's a skill you develop through trial and error and putting effort in. And I am constantly trying to think about the tactics behind social media, what gets an audience engaged, what the algorithm is looking for, I try to deliver. So to actually answer the question, I'm going to say you definitely can get lucky and that can lead to success online. However, to increase the odds, to increase the chances that you get lucky, you can also look at it like a skill and that there is knowledge to be learned to improve your chances. And I will say one more bit on this. And this is something which I'm working through in my own head with my own videos at the moment. People who do the same thing over and over again get really boring. And that's not a criticism of anyone else. That's just my reality of the videos which I will watch. I go through phases of loving content from someone, and when it doesn't really change, I get bored and move on to something else. So what I've been trying to do is to do different types of videos. For example, this video. And to be honest, it's also what I enjoy much more, is doing the videos which are different, doing the videos that I want to make, and hopefully it works for all of you, the audience. I know I said the last thing was the last thing, but this is actually the last thing. There's one more thing I want to add. Anytime I make any video, whether it be TikTok or YouTube, I try and keep in my head what is the value which I'm adding for everyone who watches it. So do you learn something? Are you entertained? And I think that's a really important thing to keep in mind. I'm not just making a video about what I do in a day and expecting people to watch it without getting anything out of it. I always try and add value. I know this is a very abstract conversation and it's like me talking about myself, which is never a good look, but I do find the whole social media algorithm, what works, extremely interesting. And if allowed, I could chat about this for an hour, so let's just move on to the next question. And I also think my straw is probably chopped by now. Yeah, it's pretty good to me. Let's add a bit more silage. Before I get to the next question, I should probably tell you what I'm doing. This is a mix for our beef animals and our heifers. It will last them 2 days, so I'm doing it every other day. They have got 3 kilograms of concentrates per animal, 1 kilogram of straw per animal, and then 15 kilograms of silage, I think. Yeah, 3 ton, 2.7 ton of silage to be exact. And if you're wondering, yes, most of our sheds were built for a feeder wagon. We just never bought one. Okay, next question. What drives me to keep doing this? Basically, what motivated me to begin with and what motivates me now to do social media. When I first started putting the real effort into my social media was when I had this idea that I might want to sell a product someday and it would be good to have a platform to do that. So it was kind of largely linked to the tech side of what I do. And I definitely plan to leverage that route to market more next year, but that's for a different video. And then around this time last year when I started doing YouTube, I would say that my main motivation was the money. And that definitely still is a big motivation. And the money was probably the biggest motivation for why I pushed social media on for quite a few months. However, I think that has genuinely changed now, and I am less motivated by money and more motivated out of an interest in it. I have definitely become more interested in what social media is going to do to the marketing industry, to the news industry, to the stagnant existing order. And I want to be part of that change. And that's really where things like Farm Theory News have come from. If a normal YouTube video does well, I'll get around 150 to 200 pounds per video. If a Farm Theory News video does well, I might get 20 to 30 pounds per video. And the Farm Theory News videos take longer to make, but it's the Farm Theory News videos that I really enjoy doing at the minute. They're the videos I want to do more of, which is because I feel like it's part of something different. It's part of the transformation of where people are getting their news from the old biased, woke, left-wing nonsense media like the BBC to the new media, which is social media. Hopefully you can detect the passion in this for me, and especially after Tuesday night's election. It has just motivated me even more to use social media to try and change things. But we're drifting. That's not the point of this video. Don't worry. There'll be plenty more of that over the next few weeks. Okay, let's finish this video off in the studio. One of the best things I've ever done is build this place. The milk tanker has changed collection day, but they didn't think to tell us. I'm gonna have to go change the boiler timer before we get to the final question and finish this video off. This is part of the farm you've never got to see before. Okay, so clock timer for the boiler, for the wash cycle. It's currently 2 o'clock, that's it set. If you forget to do that and you're boiling the water 24 hours before you need it, it actually costs you a lot of money. Well, I say a lot. You lose like 20p an hour. So times up by 5, 6 pounds a day. I love my studio so much. Like the actual best thing I have ever done. To anyone who makes YouTube videos out there, I highly recommend you get yourself a studio. We've got our mood lighting, we've got some ornaments like my Farm Theory bobblehead, my mini chimney, and of course, my Make America Great Again cap. I am doing a merch line in the new year, and it's going to heavily revolve around Make Farming Great Again. No one steal that, that's my idea. One more thing I've learned from everyone who comes in here is no one knows where Manila is. I'm so shocked by that. Right, final question, and it is also the most interesting question in my opinion. That is, where do I see the future of media heading? Notice I didn't say social media, I said media, because in my opinion, social media is going to become the new media. And it pretty much already has. I'm not going to overload you with stats because I don't have the time to Google it all and present it on screen like I normally do. But between the ages of 24 and 35, only about 11% of people are watching normal TV. If you include everyone, there is now a minority of people who watch traditional TV. And where have all these people switched to? Well, in the older generation, there is a lot of people watching YouTube videos. And for younger people, TikTok is the primary source of entertainment and news. And this is a trend which is only set to continue. And there has been no clearer example of this trend affecting real life than the presidential election that happened on Tuesday. Those people who stuck to getting their information from the legacy, traditional, biased media all had the opinion that Trump hadn't a chance. But if, like me, you got all of your information from TikTok or X, which is phenomenal, like I am obsessed with X at the minute, even though I don't post on it, you would have known that Trump was in for a big win. And I'm not just saying that after the fact. I was like properly preaching at people that Trump is on for a landslide win. And this fact is also reinforced by the voting numbers that came out after the election, which showed that Trump done extremely well amongst the young generations. It's a real world example of how someone has taken advantage of the shift in where people are getting their information, their entertainment, and their news. And for me, what is really motivating me and driving me at the minute to put so much time and effort into making videos is that I want to be part of that new media. And it's not a particularly ambitious goal I have, I just want to be part of it. I want to be involved in it. I want to learn the knowledge that comes with being involved in it. And it's really exciting. It is genuinely such an exciting industry to be in. In farming, everything moves at a snail's pace. Nothing changes over the course of 1 year. Whereas on social media, everything has changed over the course of 1 year. If you look back at the videos I was producing even just a year ago, they are totally different to the videos I am producing now. It is learning by doing, learning by failing, learning by iterating. And I love that. This video is a perfect example of putting what I've just said into practice. Should this talking heavy video about the technical details of social media do well with a farming audience? From the outside, you would think not. And the reality is maybe farmers aren't interested in this sort of stuff. But it only cost me a couple of hours to find out. And that's what this video is. It's another example of me trying to learn, trying to figure out what works and what doesn't on social media. And because this kind of topic interests me so much, as I'm pretty sure it's obvious from how I'm talking about it. My hunch and my theory is that all of you will find this interesting also. But don't worry, if you are a long-term subscriber to my channel, there will be plenty more farming focused videos over the next few weeks. Variety is the spice of life, and I know I've done now 2 videos in a row which have been talking heavy and farming light. That's not a trend I'm going to stick to, but I just like to keep it varied and to try new things. Anyway, once again, thank you so much for watching. Please do like the video. If you have any comments, good or bad, stick them down below. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please do hit the subscribe button. A crazy percentage of my viewers are returning viewers who have not yet subscribed. It's like 94% or something. So if you hit the subscribe button, it does really help. I'll be honest, I don't know how it helps, but everyone seems to say that at the end of their YouTube videos. So I suppose I might as well also. Thank you so much for watching. We will be back on Wednesday with Farm Theory News. We are stepping it back up to 2 videos a week from this week on. I've just realised I probably shouldn't have promised that since I'm away all next week at AgriScott, but I'll somehow make it work.